There we go. All right, we are back for another episode of Stationeers, episode 19. So, I did some cleanup in the last episode, or offline after the last episode. Let's recharge our suit while we're in here. Did you not? There you go. Turn on the light. That's not the light. Okay, so this guy's up and running now. We had to do a little bit more work in here. Now that this thing is operating more fully, it is soaking up all the CO2 that has been collecting in here. So we've had to start to collect it again, and I'm out of battery. This is one way to recharge the battery. Okay. So CO2 is back up to 0.7 because we've reinstated the CO2 bleed valve that we have in here. So this is actually a pump. It's set to 0.1 liter. It's set very low. Yeah, 0.1 liter. So this gas, there's no light in here anymore. This gas sensor will measure the ratio of carbon dioxide in this room. Once it gets below 0.6%, it will activate this pump, and the pump will remain on until the concentration is back up above 0.8% CO2. And that seems to be just healthy enough for these plants. The plant, the station itself is automated. It is off during the evening and it's on during the daytime, using a daylight sensor on top of the hab. And so that's how this grow light and the system itself is being managed. And that seems to be enough to have it growing moderately well for the most part, and this plant over here is even thriving. So we're going to go through one or two more iterations of this, and if it continues to work without any further failures, I will begin to grow a couple of soybean and a couple of potato, and this should be our primary source of food for a while we continue to develop the greenhouse into a full food production, fuel production, resource production factory, basically. Yeah, and also the solar tracking is now working the way I wanted it to. It turned out I was just missing one tiny crucial step. So let's go take a look at that. Okay. So it turned out the step I was missing was I was confirming my changes in the editor. So when you confirm your changes in the editor, your code becomes static in this editor, but you actually haven't committed anything to the IC chip in the housing yet. So I'd made all my changes several different ways. This is the final version. In this case, we're loading the is daylight from the sensor activate. Activate will tell you if it's in daylight or not. I was using batch equals 0 for is daylight, go to park, but now it's like if batch is not equal to 1 for is daylight, then we go to park. It's doing the same thing, but I just couldn't figure out why the command wasn't working. The command wasn't working is because we weren't actually sending that command to the IC chip. We could see it in the editor, but that's not what was actually on the IC chip. After you click confirm, I'm not clicking confirm now. I don't think I changed anything, but just to be sure, we're not. But after you click confirm, you still have to go up here and you have to export it to the chip itself before it will start to go into production in live function. Okay. We need to add more walls to this thing. Wow. It's Sunday morning in Taiwan, all right? We're all a little sleepy right now, so you just have to bear with me while I continue to wake my ass up. All right, but solar tracking is working. You'll see that the IC on the chip is now up to 1,072 bytes. We started at 609 bytes with our static code before the parking and smart changes were added. It went down to 545 when I started making my changes. Again, that's because I was making changes in the editor that weren't actually making it to the IC yet. Is that? There's no port there. Okay, my bad. Okay. Well, that makes things easier. But anyway, so we have an is daylight. It checks the activate, which is the same as the grid sunlight feature here. If it's activated, that means that it is in sunlight. It is detecting a amount of solar irradiance above 0. That means that these panels should be able to generate energy, generate electricity. If grid sunlight is 0, if solar irradiance is 0, that means that the sun is outside of the view of the hab, or that of this structure. It's either behind the mountains, behind the horizon, or it's just behind the planet. That means we are not generating any energy, and there's no point in continuing to track. So, when that happens, a one-time function called park will run that will power critical. Oh, we just need to get a battery. Oh, right. Because we swapped out batteries. There we go. Let's go recharge that. Okay. No more power critical. So what was I saying? So once the is daylight changes from 1 to 0, meaning there's no longer any power being generated by the solar panels for the sun. It's now out of range. The code will park the solar panels. It will return them to the starting position for the next sunrise, and it'll turn the rotation to face east, turn the vertical to face down, so that it is waiting and ready for the next sunrise where it can immediately start to generate power as much as possible, as quickly as possible. And then it will not do any further controls of the solar panel. They will not use any more energy while we wait for the sun to make its way back around to start generating power again. It will simply wait, watching the daylight sensor every half second until it shows that it is in daylight again, and then it will release control of the cat. My cat is behind the monitor, and she's decided to start knocking random things off of my desk. So yeah, it will rest. Wait until daylight. It just looks at the sensor, activate, waiting till that changes to 1 again, and then it'll send it back to the normal loop, which I should change that. It shouldn't be start. It should be, it should be main or something more equivalent to what it does. But this was my scratch sheet. This is how I went from just learning how to collect the data, to manipulate the data, to a fully optimized script. And I'm not saying it's fully optimized. There's some other things we can do here, like this command is very repetitive. There's more things we can do here to iterate this without having almost the same exact command listed twice. So stuff like that can still be improved, but for the most part, this thing is very, very sufficient, very small, and very and effective in doing what we want it to do. It controls 2 different arrays of solar panels facing 2 different directions, and it properly coordinates and manipulates both of them so that they are both generating as much energy as possible as long as the sun is up, and is parking them and protecting them and preventing any additional power consumption, any more power consumption than is absolutely necessary at night while we wait for power generation to begin again the next day. Okay, so a few things I wanted to do to clear up this space and make it more efficient. I want some more lockers. So let's print out about 5 of these, I think. And while those are printing, I'm going to print up a couple computers. What do we need? Copper. Always copper. Okay, we're going to use one of these here. That's good. I'm going to start keeping circuit boards and motherboards in these slots. One of where's the sorter? I'm going to keep. Okay, I think we got one computer already. Yeah. So just finish that one and we'll be good. Oh, there's some nickel there. I was looking for that earlier. Okay. So one of these computers is going to go into the greenhouse. The other one can stay out here for now. I have a sorter motherboard here somewhere. I don't know what happened to it. Okay. Some other changes we made. So we've expanded our footprint slightly. So we've added all of this structure to cover our gas production. We're going to make a few additional changes over here, although we want to kind of limit how we make those changes because we don't want to lose any of the energy production we already have with these solar panels. So I might be moving some of this stuff around. It just depends. But I just want to make the space up there a little bit more a little less compressed than it was, because we were basically trying to fill this space as much as possible, and that was making things a little cramped up here. So we've got our stairwell. It's actually more efficient using the stairwell than the ladder, especially going down. But anyway, this is what I mean by the parking. These things have parked. It's grid sunlight is false, so the solar panels or the daylight sensor is no longer activated. And I wish I could monitor the power consumption for just these solar panels when they're like this, but it's low. I mean, there's no power consumption from the panels themselves. No more commands are being sent to the panels while we're in that rest mode, while we're waiting for this thing to iterate. And like I said, we're checking this thing every half second. So twice a second, we're checking this thing to see if there's sunlight. We could change that. We could change that so that it's checking maybe every 5 seconds. The only reason why I'm not doing that is because I don't see how that is going to change the power consumption of this. This thing is using, well, what is it using? It's using 50 watts. So whether you are checking every tick or every 50 ticks, you're still using 50 watts for just this. But that should be all that we're using on this network. Let's see. I wish there was a way to advance this without having to go into this little... All right. So it has a potential of 3.8 megawatts of power consumption, but it's only using 50 watts right now, and that's just for this guy. I mean, this guy's turned off. This guy's turned off. And we can't turn it on here, can we? Oh, we can turn it on here. Okay. That jumps it up to 360 watts. Wait, this thing is only 10 watts? Are you kidding me? Wow, there's no reason not to have this on. 10 watts, that's it? Okay. So yeah, the beacon needs 300 watts. That's obnoxious. Okay. So yeah, so during the night, this thing's only consuming 50 watts for the solar tracking, 10 watts for this weather station, which we're just going to leave it on now. I thought we were going to have to add some coding for it, which we will get more proactive with our weather watches later. But for right now, I thought it was going to be more consuming than that. Yeah, okay. Let's go take care of waste tank before it yells at me. How are we doing on water? We've lost another 10 liters of water. But I don't think all of those are going into the hab. I think a lot of them are going into the steam tank. Yeah, we're going through a lot of water. This thing is... Oh, we added a new mod. Is it in here? Filter. There's catalytic filters? Wait. Is this a mod? I've never seen these before. These are basically unlimited use filters. And it doesn't show you how to create them, so I'm assuming this is a mod. This might be from the same mod. I don't know. I don't see... There was a filter cleaning system. What's space cleaner? I don't know what this is. Okay, it may not be installed yet. I was just looking at it last night, and I wasn't going to just... I wasn't planning to just start using it right away. I wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to conflict with the playthrough, so I was just checking to see if there was any part of it in the game already. But it looks like not. But there is a new mod that popped up, at least new to me. I saw it just yesterday. We need more carbon dioxide. We need more oxygen. We need more nitrogen. We will never need volatiles. And we need more water. Man. So this is one of the reasons why I want this thing. It's a filter cleaning mod. Let me see if I can bring it up real quick. Where's my Steam? Okay. Yeah, this guy, filter cleaner mod. So what this will do is it'll take any filter you have, it will run it through a process that consumes energy, but it will clean the filter for you so that you are able to reuse it. Now, right now, the filter cleaner will completely clean it. There's no outputs or anything like that. It just cleans the filter, deletes whatever was blocking the filter, and return it to 100% for you, which you can then use in your facilities again. What I would like to see is some outputs. I'd like to see some gas, or I'm thinking a liquid output, and somebody else mentioned this as well, where you are feeding something like steam into this thing, and it's consuming some of that to clean the filter, and then that steam is converted into polluted water, which is already a thing in the game, as an output. And this further gives you a reason to collect polluted water and purify polluted water, especially in a base like mine where water is becoming more and more of a dear resource. So yeah, I like the idea of this. I would like to see more devices like this that you can use to further tailor the game to your needs. But yeah, this guy popped this up in the last few days, and he's already updated it a couple of times. So I hope to see this grow into something more significant in the near future. All right, so the sun's coming up. These guys should now be operational. If we check our energy consumption, we're still at just 60 watts. That's interesting. But these don't show the solar panels. Okay, 11.8, 11.6 kilowatts. That's the batteries. And as these batteries fill up, that number will keep going down. So what I'm seeing is some of these batteries are already filling up down below. Ooh, good jump. Yeah, I didn't mean to go that far. But that, you know, almost every set of batteries has a full battery. The only one that's not full is the greenhouse, and we've got some plans for this as well. So we're probably going to have some additional solar panels here that are on the same network as the ones up here. So that's one of the reasons why we're kind of expanding this structure out, so that we have some additional routing points that we can send some long ass data cables. But the goal is to have some solar panels here that are mostly effective throughout the day. I think we can have some solar panels here that will pretty much produce energy the whole day without this structure getting in the way. I don't know for sure. I forgot to turn the light off in there again. But that's the goal. And that should help keep the greenhouse lit up, or closer to max than it is now, because I've never seen these at max in the current configuration. So I would just like to know that that's hitting max, so I know that we're getting as much as we possibly can. Wow. As we continue to develop the structure, it's going to use more and more power. So to that end, we know everything's working. We want to see this get to max, hopefully by the end of the day. We'll keep watching it and seeing if it does. But I want... Okay, so we have our computer, we have our lockers. I really want to know where my sorter motherboard is. It would have been here when I took this thing apart. I would have put it in inventory until I got it to storage. My only storage is out here. Oh, it's possible. It's possible that I threw it on top of the stack in there. If I had it in inventory. I hate how the doors come through the outer walls like this. But you can see the hydroponic station now is on. It doesn't get any sunlight from the outside sun. So the hydroponic station generates its own grow light, or it generates its own light with its grow light. And that's all being controlled by this daylight sensor up here. Right there. Which still works even though I've placed it under a floor. Hydration critical. Oh, we used to have water out here. Yeah, it's 5 degrees. See, come on. Okay, so we have a computer. We have our lockers. We don't need an IC editor out here, but we will need an IC editor out here again. So let's go ahead and print out a new one. We'll need a new housing. Man, that takes a long time. That is a very expensive IC housing. What is that really? A Lardoc Atmos. Okay. Eventually we'll be getting into that stuff, and I'm pretty sure you're meant to replace your existing Harvey setup structures with Lars eventually. All right, we'll need an IC chip. What is a logic motherboard? Integrated circuit is what we're looking for. Okay. Okay, we got our computer, we got our lockers, we got our IC housing, we got our IC circuit. We're probably going to need some more cabling. We will need what will we need? Configuration. What's a configuration cartridge? Medical analyzer. Or scanner color. Or scanner. I've never done an OR scanner. Let's see what this does. Well, let's get rid of our waste tank caution. Okay. Interesting. So this is telling me there's more ore underneath here. Wait. What is this telling me? Okay, you can see the solar panels now. They're still tracking because there's still a little sunlight. There's still a little power being generated. As soon as that drops to zero, as soon as that daylight sensor is completely out of sunlight, now you see they're parking. They're turning back towards the rising sun, and they'll sit there and wait until the next morning before they start to move again. I know that's nothing mind-blowing. That's pretty much how everybody does it, but my process is my process. Okay. Okay, so hello. So that's an ore scanner. Now I got one more thing I need to keep track of. What we'll probably want to do is have a dedicated tablet for ore scanning and tracking, so we can hit the begin when we need to. Because as it stands right now, this is my mining tablet. It's just got a tracker in it. It's just the basic handheld tablet. My advanced tablet has my Atmos analyzer and my network analyzer, because those are the ones I use the most. There is a modded version, a new tablet you can get that has additional slots. But again, I haven't really done anything to add those heavy-duty mods, because those are Bepanix mods. They require the Stationeers mod add-on to allow you to support those mods. That you can't just go into the workshop, activate those mods, and they start working. So yeah, let's start getting these new. So we need more carbon dioxide. We'll need water. Oh, come on. Now we go through so much water. So our system is constantly cycling out hot water and steam, water vapor, and running it through the hot water tank, which is then being used to cool our normal water supply, which has a catalytic reaction that ends up producing more water vapor. And so it's a very constant cycle. They can stay there for now. So that's carbon dioxide, that's water. What else did we need? I know we will need nitrogen soon, but I don't think they were empty yet. Oh, now it's empty. And oxygen. Okay, so nitrogen and oxygen. Okay. Okay. This is our oxygen. And our nitrogen. That was a big leap. Okay. And I believe, whoa, yeah, I need nitrogen myself soon. Like very soon. Will I consume the nitrogen first? I hope so. Okay. Let's do an ore scanner color. It's just more expensive, probably a better version of the ore scanner. I should have realized that. Plant analyzer. So you can have a plant analyzer without the plant sampler. Interesting. E-reader. What's an e-reader? How does that work? Power control, rocket control, motherboard, ship display, solar control. What is solar control? Oh yeah, the aiming. We're not there yet. Advanced composter. It's an advanced composter. There's a portable and an advanced. Let's look at the portable first. Although it doesn't look like... Oh, you can make it. You make it in the electronics printer. All right, so what is a portable composter? A simple composting device. The basic composter creates fertilizer out of organic matter. It accepts food, decayed food, or biomass. It requires a full liquid canister and a battery to operate, accelerating the natural composting process. When processing, it releases nitrogen and volatiles as well as a small amount of heat. Oh, interesting. Fertilizers are produced at a 1:3 ratio of fertilizer to ingredients. The fertilizer's effects on plants will vary depending on the respective proportion of its ingredients. Fertilizers are produced at food increases plant yield up to 2 times. Decayed food increases plant growth speed up to 2 times. Biomass increases the number of growth cycles fertilizer lasts for. So if you can create a mix of fertilizer from the 3 different sources, is that possible? Or is it only converting these into different kinds of fertilizer? And there are 3 unique versions of fertilizer that do not intersect in any way. That's interesting. All right, that's the portable composter, which requires a liquid canister, which is not ideal. So I'm assuming the advanced composter is a more permanent, requires water and power to operate. So yeah, so you pipe in water and you feed it power. It releases nitrogen and volatiles, well, small amount of meat, fertilizers, heat. Fertilizers are produced and everything else is the same. 5 steel sheets plus... copper, steel, electric, solder. So we could make these now. Okay. I need a refrigerator. Okay, Okay, so there's the fridge. What about the refrigerated vending machine? The refrigerated omni-cool vending machine is an advanced version of the standard vending machine, which maintains an optimum pressure and constant temperature of minus 130 degrees C to prevent food spoilage. You can hold up to 100 stacks. The omni-cool also has an inbuilt stacker, allowing players to set the stack size of any items added to the device. The unit's default stack size is 50. Altering stack sizes does not update existing stacks within the machine, only those subsequently added. Okay. All right, so pretty good size storage. 2 plastic sheets and a screwdriver. Made from the kit, which is gold, steel, electric, and solder. We can make this now. All right, let's make that. We're low on electrum. We used all the electrum. That stuff sat there for like weeks, and now it's all gone. Wow. Let's go get some electrum. There's a lot of silver over here. We've got gold already. One, two, three. Hold on. I want to be as efficient as possible. There's some over here. Okay, so we got 3 silver. We got room for 3 gold. Waste tank caution. Okay. First waste tank. Power low. Yeah. Okay, it is finishing off the nitrogen, the low nitrogen filter before it consumes the new one. I should probably just keep it like that. 2 nitrogen filters for 1 CO2 filter, since we go through nitrogen much more quickly. Is that silver? No, that's iron. Okay, let's start loading up. We're going to smelt those down at ingots, and then we will 624, 390. We can start with that. So once night falls, we'll load this up. The ingot should be just about ready by then. Why are you over there? Just I think here. So this is so we can get a vending machine. This will allow us to be a little bit more more liberal with the Harvey design testing we're about to start doing. We can activate and go through several iterations of the Harvey automation process without worrying about losing anything, because if we have this thing set up and running in there, we'll have a place to send our harvested products to without having to go around and pick everything up and throw it in a bin like we've been doing. I think I collected all that stuff. Yeah, we brought it out into the refrigerator in the hab last time, but that thing's getting a little full anyway. All right, so I'm going to need some plastic. What else do we need? I probably want to get some more cabling going. And this is going slowly, right? Yep. It's still on the first one. Yep. Okay, we're good. So we're hitting full on pretty much all the batteries now. That's what we wanted to see. So our energy efficiency is good at our current consumption rate. We'll stop it at 40, I think. Oh. Still got my mining belt out. That's kind of embarrassing. Okay. So that's a nice little. I mean, we got data cable too in our uniform, so we've got some options now. Let's see. We really need to start fleshing this out. It's been so long since I started on that and just never got around to finishing it. I mean, that wasn't the plan. I mean, originally we were moving towards that more and more, but it ended up slipping out of reach when we blew up the hab the third time, and we had to fix that again. And then everything else we've been doing since then has been a byproduct of that whole experience of having to, whoops, there we go, of having to go and fix the hab. Do I want this here? Where do I have it on that one? I have it on the outside on that one. That was just one? Well, that's disappointing. I thought that was a whole stack. Let's get some sheets. I think we're going to need those to build some of this stuff. Eventually we're going to, well, yeah. We don't need to now, but eventually we will start producing some more solar panels and building that across the top. Hunger critical. 9%. Yep. All right. Okay, well, we can get this stuff inside and start working on the where we're going to build the computer and the vending machine. Oh, I should have made some more floors too. All right. Okay, light's already on. Let's go to recharge our suit. I hate seeing the damage on the suit. I might go ahead and replace it, even though it's only like 15% damage. I can't see it. Nope, that's an advanced airlock controller. I think that's a clear airlock controller. That's not, that's one that hasn't been used before. I think I printed one up and I brought it in here just in case. Because when we first built this airlock, it's still a 3 square airlock. But I found out that the gas sensor wasn't able to see beyond the square next to it. So when we had the gas sensor over here, it couldn't account for the volume of atmosphere that was in this third square over here. And so that was causing it to miscalculate and misread when we were at 0 or when we were at full pressure when that third square hadn't normalized yet. So we had to move the gas sensor to the middle square, so that was reading both other squares in the airlock on either side of it, and giving us a more accurate reading, so that we could ensure that we weren't going to bleed habitat gas mixture into the greenhouse, or worse, bleed greenhouse mixture CO2 concentration into the hab. It would have been fine short term, but long term that would have caused problems, especially with the difference in the temperatures. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's get in there. What's going on with my webcam? I forgot about that. Oh. Yeah, so I'm using the OBSBot, the Tel2, for my web streams now. It started out as a test, but I'm pretty much going to be using this thing from now on. It's actually that good. Do we want the computer down here, or do we want it up here? I think there's a poetry to having a computer up here. I can also see adding a floor here And moving this ladder. So we have some space here, but the vending machine is going to go here. If we can install it in this floor, the vending machine should go here. If not, what we're probably going to do is we're going to reinforce the structure, these outside corners, with frames, and then we're going to move this frame. And then we'll build the vending machine inside this grid. We'll have a structure around it so that it still looks solid. It still looks like it's supporting the entrance like it does now. But I don't know. I don't think we're going to need to go there. I think we'll be able to put the vending machine right here. But with the electronics that we have underneath the way we do, it might be a little tricky. Actually, no, with the piping the way it is right now, I don't think we can do it like that. Not unless we set the vending machine into the frame somehow. I think we can do that, but I think we also need to be able to get to the ports on the back of the vending machine. So we just need to see what it looks like once we get it printed out. And if we need to, excuse me, if we need to, we'll move the entire air conditioning system down there so that it's not intersecting with this upper layer at all anymore. The only reason it's so high right now is because I just kind of built it off of the existing infrastructure as it was at the time, and I wasn't thinking about future-proofing it yet. But all of this can come down like one block and still work in the format that it is now without interfering with anything we want to build on the level above it. Okay. Temperature's down to 20 degrees. 294. The threshold is 293.4. Yeah. The heater might kick on, but not for long. Okay. Computer. Where do we want to place? You're not a computer. See, I don't want it to set into the wall. I'm sorry. We can place it there for now. What do we need? Oh, it doesn't need any additional materials. That's right. Okay, so we have a computer. Let's see the ports, power, and data. So power. Sorry, I'm getting lost here. Okay, IC housing. Could just go like that. What was that? Oh no. Is anybody else unhappy? Why are you unhappy? You're a jerk. Why'd you do that? That was a wasted... Oh, man. I could have tested that. All right. That should be good. And then we need power. Route power into that line. But I think it's just more efficient to go this way. Okay. I shouldn't be fading this quickly. All right. Now, I'm not going to tie this into anything. Because we have multiple Harvies and we want to be able to control all of them, what I want to be able to do is... Well, we should name that IC housing. What I want to be able to do is through code, say for all the Harvies on this network, iterate through each of these Harvies, and be able to what am I trying to say? I want to be able to index them in the code. Say for each Harvey in this stack, do this. And then have the function like check. Okay, is it ready to seed? Collect the seed. Is it ready to fruit, or is it mature? Or whatever the condition is. Okay, let's harvest. I want to see how we can manipulate what's coming out of the Harveys so that when something is being passed on, yeah, still going through a lot of this in my mind. So it pulls the seed first, and then that gets passed on. And I believe anything that the Harvey itself harvests right now, that gets pulled into the Harvey and immediately passed on to the chute next to it, which will immediately pass it on to the next Harvey, where it will stop. Anything that's put in the Harvey is treated as an import and is left in the system because it assumes that you want to use it in some way. Anything that the Harvey harvests directly, it will move into its export slot and immediately push it through if there's space to push it. And I need to figure out a way to logically parse that. Okay, what's in my hopper? Is it a seed? If it's a seed, hold on to it. If it's not a seed, pass it on. So that any of the fruit that's getting harvested by any of the Harveys automatically gets seeded through the network until it gets to the final destination, which should be that refrigerated vending machine. Okay, so next we're going to have to tie I'm not ready to be this sleepy. It's what? Oh, it's almost noon. Oh, I can eat lunch again. It's been 12 hours. Okay. So what we need to do is, well, isn't this tied in? Oh, that's tied into power. But I guess that means we can also well, first we need to name. All right, that's our greenhouse IC housing. I don't think we need to name the computer, but let's just name it the greenhouse computer. And this may or may not control more than one thing eventually, but for right now, this is what it does. All right, we can set you down. Okay. So now we should be able to see those Harvies. Okay. Edit. Okay. What type of structure is a Harvey? It is a structure Harvey. Copy to clipboard. So let's set an alias. Harvey for hash. Okay, so we've got our alias for Harvey. Oh, I still don't know how much we need from the hydroponic trays, but we do need to wire those up. So let's set up those as well. Hydro D X hash, and I'm assuming it's going to be something like structure hydroponic device. So let's check that. Let's see, device. I thought that would work. Hydroponics device. Okay. So it looks like I was off on. Let's do that again. Hold on. Okay, structure hydroponics trade data is what it is. Hydro D, Harvey. Okay. So what are the controls we have for Harvey? Import, export, hand. We can power, we can mode, we can activate. Okay, so we probably want to activate. Okay, first let's go take care of our waste tank before that gets us. Oh, I just realized we missed sunset, didn't we? still need to make our electrum so we can get the refrigerated vending machine in here. Okay. We just came out here for the waste tank, right? But we can top off our survival stacks. We'll probably eat all of it. No? Got our seed. Seeding. Thriving. Seeding. Yeah, everything's thriving in here now. It's all healthy. Wait. Alright, you go in here. Okay. Give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Oh, it wasn't sunrise, it was sunset. Okay. We can go and... I'm going to pause real quick. I'm going to grab something and be right back. Okay, let's get outside so we can get our electrum on. I gotta watch carefully because I don't want I can't hear anything. I'm not using my headphones yet because I gotta go grab the pizza here in a second. But I gotta make sure I'm not killing myself. Oh, they were set to 50? Okay. All right, we're now ready to smelt this into purified electrum. I'm gonna go grab a pizza. My wife and I went out to Pizza Bear last night for kind of an impromptu date. The kids didn't want to go out to eat, but we did. So we took that opportunity for all it was worth. have a night out alone. And this is the new maple bacon pizza that Papa Bear is making. He's been working on it for a while, and this is my first time trying it. I didn't know about it. When we got there, I ordered my normal pepperoni because, you know, Pizza Bear is the best pizza place in Taiwan. There are other pizza joints you can go to, and they're all fine. Little New Yorker is great. But when it comes to pepperoni, properly cooked, properly prepared pepperoni, you can only find that at Pizza Bear. Nowhere else in Taiwan. I mean, it's very difficult to properly build, you know, make pepperoni in Taiwan. They don't have the resources for that. So for this guy to bring everything he needs into Taiwan to make it himself is incredible. It's one of the few places in Taiwan that has an actual brick pizza oven that, I mean, you can't get any more authentic than Pizza Bear when you come to Taiwan, if that's what you're looking for. Wow. That's really good maple bacon. What was that? Someone contact me? Ah, okay. Software update on my phone. Okay. Yeah, that's really good. Let's get this stuff ready to burn. It doesn't take much for it doesn't take much for Electrum, if I recall. It's actually really easy to overshoot Electrum, if I'm remembering correctly. So we'll just do one and one. Okay. Electrum is what? We're not really getting much of a reaction at all, are we? Okay, we just need to be over 600K, but we need to get down to 2.4 megapascals. We're already over that. This might be easier if we start from empty. Hello. I tried some of the maple bacon. It's very tasty. I still prefer the pepperoni, but I can see having this too. Like getting my pizza, my pepperoni pizza for me, and then getting some maple bacon pizza for the table for everybody to share.
Only you and me has Andy at home. Andy cannot eat the cheese.
Oh,
He cannot have the milk and cheese.
that poor pathetic bastard.
It's still sweet. It's sweet. Where's Luca?
Luca? I don't know.
Super. She's not with Andy.
I heard her crying earlier, but I don't know where she was. Crying, calling, singing. She might have gone out when you were bringing in the clothes. Okay, we're very quickly about to run out of time to do this. So we're going to go 2. Okay. Okay, we're just going to have to bring it down to the level we need and then pop it up. Here we go. Gonna go green, there we go. Got ourselves some Electrum with a little to spare. Okay. Yeah, I figured that one's going to take some time to print out. If you're going to reheat a thin pizza, you should probably do it on a pizza stone. I think I overdid it with this dough. Still good, just not perfect. Ooh. Oh yeah, that used a lot of gold. I just realized how many resources that used. That was very expensive. Oh yeah, this thing is huge. Yeah, let's head back in. We'll see about where we can put this thing, how we want to set it up. Recharge the suit real quick. I don't get that. I think my guy's over dramatic. Yep. It actually makes sense to have it over here. Calm down. This was just in here while we were constructing the place. This makes sense. What does the outside of it look like? So it's got a vending output outside as well. If it's right here. Something wrong? Luca? Uh-oh. Okay. Let's see what this looks like partially outside. Mm-hmm. Wait, is this supposed to be what it looks like? Or did I put it in backwards? I think I put it in backwards. Yeah, this is the front. Okay. So if this is the front. Hmm. I still think it makes sense to have it here, but I need to make sure I can properly access those ports. I don't know how I feel about it being partially outside though. Okay. But it looks like there's only just the one port on the front. Hmm, 200 should be fine for pretty much anything that we're putting in there. Okay. Now, for the input. Where are my chutes? I guess. We're going to have to rework this plumbing. I think it'll be best if we route it. Oh, storm. Okay, that gives us a little bit of leeway with the chute. But I can't really go down with the chute anyway because it's going to go into those frames, and I can't tear those frames down. Those frames are keeping our greenhouse sealed from the bottom. So I'm going to have to go up with the chutes. I'm just going to have to block all of this interface. Oh, wait a second. I've already wired up the hydroponic trays. At least these outer ones. I didn't know that. Okay, so let's hook those up real quick. Because we're going to have to do this anyway. Okay. Whoop. Get off of the ladder. Okay. Wait, that's the output. Isn't that the output? So for our purpose, we just need to go out like that. Are we not? There we go. There we go. Oh no. Really? I'm one short. That's awesome. Okay. Well, we don't want to. Actually, I wonder if it'll still catch whatever we push through it. So if I told you, collect that seed. Nope, it falls out. First of all, can the Harvey vending machine collect seeds? Oh, that's not, okay, yeah, that's not an input. That's not an inlet. Only the chutes themselves can really push into another chute. You need an inlet just to make it work. So, yeah, that's exactly what's supposed to happen right there. Okay, we're not going to do anything with these lockers yet because we're still not sure on the final placing for everything. Oh, we didn't confirm our changes. Let's get those back in here. So alias Harvey. Let's do it this way. Hash structure Harvey, I think it was. Alias hydro d hash structure hydroponic tray data, and then let's just make sure that's right. Structure Harvey. Yeah, we got that right. Tray. Okay. Those are set. Confirm. Now they're saved in the editor. Okay. I have to step away for just another minute. I'll be right back. In the meantime, I'm going to put the camera on my wife and she can entertain you. She was, but then I went to the bathroom, so.
Or bathroom?
I didn't see her until the very end. All right. Sorry about that. We're back. Oh, this thing's getting warm. Okay, back to it. So we got a storm going. We got our code set. Now, how do we iterate? Waste tank caution. How do we iterate through our it's gonna be see, no, we don't want to do like a batch sorting. We want to collect. We need to collect. Nope, that's still a batch.
For the shack.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, yeah, she's in there. I heard a meow. I said, hmm? In the bedroom. And I saw her.
SP. Looking for a store pointer. A set pointer. Pointer? No. Push. Oh. Okay, pushes the value of the stack, value A to the stack at SP and increments SP. Okay, so there is a stack. What commands do we have? Clears the stack memory for the provided device. Clear D. Okay. Seeks directly for the provided device ID. and clears the stack memory of that device. Get. Using the provided device, attempts to read the stack value at the provided address, then places it in the register. Peek. The value at the top of the stack. All right, so okay, so we should be able to build a stack of all the Harvies in the network. Can we change the name? Set. So we can load from a device into a register, but can we? Okay, loads logic type from all output network devices with provided type. Loads logic slot type, stores register value to logic type. No. So there's no way to change a name using anything I see here. I mean, you can't change a device hash, but you should be able to change a name hash. Okay, let's go take care of our waste tank. Okay. Battery's getting low too. Let's see. How's our plants coming along? Seeds, seeds, seeds. Potato. We'll go one more iteration. And then we'll go to soybeans over here, starting with the next rotation. Okay, knocking this over. Just need to throw it out. It's too sticky. Okay. We don't really need this anymore. Not right now. We might move it into the greenhouse, though. I see it having more utility there. That's almost topped off. Yeah, let's go get some more chutes. Damage is 90%. How did you make it through the whole storm? Let's see. Okay, now let's get some more ice real quick since we know we're running out. Uh-oh. Still minus 5 degrees. Let's get it back there as quickly as possible. Oops. Okay. I hate it when I can't hear it. I'm not sure if it's running or not. Alright. That should give us a little bit more of a boost in our water levels. We're at 40 a minute ago. Now we are at $37. But not all of that's going into the greenhouse. Most of that is still going into the tank. Well, I don't know. There's only 7 liters in here. Maybe another... Yeah, another 3 liters of... Well, it's actually around 10 liters of water vapor, steam. I don't know, the levels are holding steady. Maybe we really are just consuming that much water. It doesn't make sense though. The problem is we can't see ice. We know there's ice in the tank in the hab. Or there was. For a long time, there was a lot. 4 kPa, 4 kPa. This is holding at 16 degrees C, so the system works. It's just... Yeah, we just can't hold on to liquid water for a very long, it seems. Might need to load something else in there. Okay. So we got our chutes. They're here. Probably, well, no, it's fine. We would have had it gone in to test it anyway. 4? I thought we did 5. I meant to do 5. Ah, well. Did I not hit it? All right. Let's get this last one on. Okay. So now, if we harvest, we got a potato. Okay, so that part's working. Although we haven't wired this up yet, so that's not going to refrigerate anything. And that wiring is on the back, isn't it? The power is on the back too. How is this able to produce an output if there's no power yet? Okay. Can't plant. Can't vend. All right. So yeah, all that wiring's on the back. We're gonna have to go outside again anyway. It's 1 o'clock. Time to feed the cats. Let's see. Yeah, we'll go take care of the wiring. Make sure that's all squared away, and then we'll start some proper code experimentation. What I don't want to do is have to code for every single Harvey that's in the system. I want to be able to write code that says, okay, let's look at what's in this network. For each one that's in this network, go through this series. I've never done that in assembly, so I don't know what the procedure would be, but I mean, it should be doable. They have a stack, they have a stack pointer, they have everything you need to divide up, you know, a series of devices, an array of devices like that. I just need to know the context of how to do that within the code. $99, $100. Yeah. Okay, first let's go take care of our wiring. I don't know which one is data, so we're just going to tie it all together. Merging. Okay, there's already a cable there. That's perfect. That's what we want. There. Okay. Now, to power it on, that might get tricky. Okay. Well, let's just head back inside and work it out. This is taking a while. Okay. All right. We need to get that thing turned on. Can't use the jetpack in here. Oh. Oh, I gotta jump. I'm hitting the roof. There we go. I just need, there it is. Okay, so if I hit vend, I get 2. Oh. I get the whole stack. Interesting. Why'd you beep? Excuse me. Let's collect these seeds. Okay. Collect the potatoes. Okay. Okay, so as a test, first of all, let's put the seeds in there. Grab the labeler. We're going to name you Harvey 1. And that gives us a baseline we can use for our code. Actually, I'm going to name you Hydroponics Device 1 as well. Okay. All right, so alias TV is going to be hash Harvey1. Alias TD is going to be hash hydroponic device 1. All right. We need to know how to read the tray. Pressure, temperature, ratios, reference IDs, name hash, combustion, total moles, pressure, temperature. Okay, so logic. Okay, we're looking for logic slots. So there's a mature slot. So we've got a camera. Oh, I'm sorry. We have a mature slot. Growth slot. Seeding slot. Okay. See, I'm getting overwhelmed in my head again. The OCD procedural methodical lizard brain inside me wants to set up a bunch of logic chips in here so I can iterate through each of the outputs that we're able to read from these devices. what I can do is go and get a display, set up a display kit. It'll say name hash. No. What can we display with a kit? Ship display, hash display, graph display, gas display, camera display. Never built one of those. Okay, so a hash display is the closest thing to it, I think. See what I want. Because design control backs manages the device such as the active event, passive event casting, depending on what circuit board is inserted into the unit. Oh, this is just a type of console. It's not a separate thing. See, what I want to be able to do is take a device and list its output as I go through the different types of code. But I think a logic reader is going to be the best way to do it. Yeah, let's stop. Let's stop trying to overthink and let's just go get one. We'll throw these potatoes in the fridge while we're on the way out. Okay. We got some logic IOs over here. Waste tank caution. What am I doing? I was gonna go grab a battery for my suit, but we shouldn't need it so quickly. And we only have about 20 minutes left on the stream anyway. Yeah, we won't top off the suit. I just want to make some progress on this logic sorting we want to do. Oh, we need memory. Okay, so not a lot of, we'll just do this. All right. First, let's try and find device 1. Oops. Okay, there's Harvey 1. We can read power. Power's on. We can read mode. Mode is 1, error is 0. Activate is 0. Lock 0. On. What is on? Export count. Oh no, required power. So export count is 3. So what does that mean? It's got 3 potatoes in it that could be dying. Import count is 3. Everyone prefab hash. Minus 27148 0358 minus 27148 3548. Oh, nope. 27148 0358 minus 27148 0358. What? 27148 0358. Oh. Minus 27148 0358. Minus 27148 0358. Minus 27148. Minus 27148. 0358. Why aren't we finding anything? Hold on, Harvey. Yeah. So maybe, okay, hold on. Let's look at another device. All right, we're looking at the hydroponics device, pressure temperature ratio. So we didn't see a mature slot, but we'd want a slot reader for that anyway. Okay, let's look at the prefab hash. Prefab hash is minus 1A41632400. Minus 1A416. $32400. Okay, hydroponics device. If we look at the hydroponics device 1, prefab hash minus 1A41632400. So the prefab hash is the same. So it's reading correctly for this, but for the Harvey, two 271480358 minus 271480358 doesn't return anything, and I don't know why. Okay, I hate to leave on a bad note, but I don't understand what is happening here, unless there's some sort of modification that's happening that's interfering. But I don't see how. I don't. Plant right, clear memory right, harvest right. All right, I'm going to try something. I'm going to remove you temporarily. I like some more seeds. And a potato, 44% potato. Yeah, you can't throw them in there. Oh, it's already 10. So what I want to do, because there's two kinds of Harvies. There's this kind and there's this kind. We've been building this kind, the left to, or the right to left one. Now we're going to build the left to right one. It's got the circuitry intersecting the path rather than, or parallel to the path rather than intersecting the path. I want to see what the prefab hash is for this guy. RVX. Yeah, I'm fading fast. All right. RVX. RVX. Prefab hash 958.056.199. 958.056.199. Okay. So the problem is there's two Harvies, and we're using the other Harvey, which has its own separate prefab hash that is not listed in the wiki. All right, so that's where that discrepancy lies. All right. So we're not too concerned with that. We should be able to put the screwdriver away. Let's see. Minus 2714. Hold on. This is taking up way too much time. All right, now that we know, hold on, let's go fix that guy too. Okay. No need to change the name. Power it on. Okay. Sorry. Okay, we got the Harvey. All right, once again. Oh, 271480358. Okay. Last 271480358. Name hash. hash. Let's do Harvey 1. Sorry, name hash is going to be hash Harvey 1. Activate. And then sleep 60. All right, we should be able to export this. And it didn't do anything. Do I need to put it in a loop? I might need to put it in a loop. Loop. Instead of sleep 60, let's just jump to exit, yield, sleep 5, J exit. Okay. Confirm, export. Potato hydroponic stuff. Man, this thing. There's nothing for it to do here. Okay, this one's ready to seed. Let's go Harvey 2. Oh, man. This waste tank is ridiculous. It gets way too full way too quickly. Yes, I know. I'm dying. Okay, seeding, fruiting. Okay. Why can't I drink? What's wrong with me? Why can't I drink above 74% now? I don't know what's wrong. Why can't I drink? Yeah, I'm not going to be able to finish this today, I don't think. I mean, I wasn't going to be able to finish this, but just the initial testing that I'm trying to do, I'm not even sure I'm going to be able to pull that off. I don't understand why I can't drink. I mean, I would think if there was a reason for me that prevent me from drinking, I'd have some sort of message on my screen somewhere, but I don't see anything indicating a status. Okay, so we need to figure out exactly how to interact with the Harvey to know when to seed, know when to plant, know when to harvest. I was really hoping, someone like Arceus or Balian would join today and help me through some of the initial pain points, but I don't mind learning, on my own. It's just it's a slow and a bit of a painful process. But I didn't expect it to take us this long just to learn as much as we did. So we now understand about the separate prefabs. There's a whole other prefab hash for the Harvey, and it's not this one. Let's see what happens when we print from the clipboard. I want to see if it's only acknowledging the one value and not the one for the version of the Harveys we're actually using. Yeah. So it only acknowledges the default configuration for the Harvey. It doesn't really know about the other version of Harvey. What other batch name functions are there? Those are jumps. Define, divide, exponential. What is this? Halt and catch fire. What the hell does that do? Loads logic slot type from slot index from all output. Hello. Where's Andy?
Have you go to school? I have his friend. They have the homework.
He left?
The homework.
Okay. Yeah, I'm about to stop. We can take a break. Okay. Those device logic tied to register by direct ID reference. So these are loading values from. How do we activate? Okay, let's take a look at some of our existing scripts. Like so for our solar tracking, for instance. Let's confirm what we have. And then we're going to create a Harvey Auto 2025. Okay, now let's load our solar tracking. So we're using SBN to set the vertical. So I think what we should be doing in Harvey, is, yeah, activate needs to be a value like 1. Confirm, export. It's ready to produce a seed. Activate doesn't seem to do anything. Hash Harvey2, right? We called it the right thing. So it's not activate 1. What are the other things we can do, Harvey? Activate. Oh, there is a harvest. Let's harvest. Okay, let's try doing this another way. Alias H2 TH. Let's do TH is hash Harvey2. Wait, no. What am I trying to do here? I want. Or device. Okay. So we've declared this Harvey as a device, which our Hydro D as a device. We still need a differentiator to tell which device of that set of devices. At least TH. Okay, let's look at the code again. Okay, so I'm getting my aliases and my defines mixed up. So you're defining a string. I'm not doing that. Okay, so let's go back to Harvey. These should be defines. This is what I'm doing wrong regarding these values. Okay. Then I need an alias. Harvey, a T Harvey. R0. Okay. I want to see if this works at all. Nothing. We'll try harvest, we'll try plant. Two 714803556. If I import, wait. It wasn't on. Okay, we're at 278 bytes. Let's see. Let's do Harvey 1, Harvey 2, Harvey. Confirm, export. $280. Got Harvey 1, Harvey 2, and Harvey. Nothing's really working. Now this one is doing something that it's tied to the device 1 somehow, but the rest of these are independent. But I'm still missing something here. So SPN would work here, even if you're using one individual device. It would separate that out from the rest of the stack. I mean, that's what we're doing in solar tracking, was we're declaring everything on the east side from the, and separate them from the south side. Okay, so if I wanted to construct this the same way, all right, so we're going to have an alias for the device, Harvey, Harvey v2 is going to be hash. Really, we just do this 271480356. And so then this becomes Harvey v2. I'm just going to make it HV2. Then we don't need Harvey. This wasn't going to work anyway because this was going to create the hash for the other one. Of course, waste tank caution. So this can go away in its current form. Is test Harvey. This will be hash Harvey1 alias test H2. It's hash Harvey2. Oops. Yeah. Test H2. What we're going to do, harvest 1. And then finally, no. SP device hash logic type. Okay. SP HV2 plant 1. Let's see if any of those work. Confirm. Off. Export. You're not 244 bytes. On. Nope. Let's make sure this isn't, oh, wait. Error at line 1. Okay, so it doesn't like this. So what do we do there? How do we get that hash value? Any text inside will be hashed to an integer before processing takes place. Use this to generate integer values for use whether hashes are required, wherever hashes are required. Do I just hash the value? So hash minus 271480358. Still an error line 1. Let's make sure the hash is right. 271480358. Two 714800358. Can we set it as an integer? We still need to pause here. All right, so we can't use an alias. We'll just have to use the actual. Can we use define here? Line 2 has an error now. You know what? I'm getting tired of this waste tank stuff. Yeah, you think? Can we drink now? Are we going to get above 74% this time? No. Why? Is there... Am I injured somehow? I would assume it would tell me. Give me some other sort of indication. Alright, so some sort of corruption. Okay. Now I'm really a little bit concerned because a lot of the behavior we could have been seeing just now might have been related to just a corrupted save state. And I didn't turn you on. Alright. So this has been a wash. I apologize. I wanted to get a lot further than this, but I think I'm dealing with a number of issues related to, my way of thinking and the way, the very rigid structure that you need to program for Harvies compared to like solar panels, which are a little bit more flexible. So we're going to give this one last shot, but we're going to be ending here with whatever this test proves. and we'll just be going from there. So bear with me while we get back over there and attempt to clean up the code, because I think one of my mistakes was I switched up my alias and defines as I was supposed to, but then I lost those changes when I went back and forth between the other scripts. So I need to clear that up, get those set properly, and then once those are in place, we can try this. And then we'll be done for the day, and I can go spend some time with my wife. She's not. Okay, turn you off. Get in here. So these should be defines. Okay, let's confirm that. And let's save that. Let's export that. I want to see what that looks like. Okay. So, okay, that makes me feel a lot better. So, we activated, we harvested, and we planted. Or at least we attempted to do so without any sort of structure to say that we could do so. So, at the very least, we can give ghost commands. Meaning we can give commands to these things and get them to do largely what we want. Whether or not they actually can do what we want at the current time. Meaning we can tell it to seed, plant a seed when there may not be a seed available to plant, or there may not be a device available to accept a seed. Yeah, I'm just taking a look at the states that these are in. Nothing has made it over here yet. See if the seeds go in. Okay, so it'll accept seeds as well. And hopefully the low temperature won't kill the seed. I don't think I've seen a status or a health indicator on a seed before, so I think it should be fine. But yeah, so at least we made some progress. We know we can send commands to the Harvies and get them to do certain things. Now we just need to build out the logic to tell it when to do those things. And then I also want to continue to work on logic that'll allow us to say, okay, for all the Harvies in this deck, go to the first one and do this, go to the second one and do this. There should be a way to do that. We know that there's a push and a pop in the code, which is for stack logic. So there is a pop, yes. So the question is, how do we establish this stack? How do we establish and see the SP, the stack position, stack pointer, and does it work with device stacks, device batches? So yeah, so I'm going to do some research off stream and see what I can and can't do with these new functions that I've discovered. Push, pop. These should allow you to manipulate stacks so that you're looking at different devices within the stack, if in fact you can use devices in the stack. I'm really hoping that's the case. I'm really hoping stack isn't something static like the device stack for the IC, because I can also see how that might be a thing. But that's it. That's where we're going to leave off for now. you know, we did make some progress. Oh, wow. We are killing our power, though. We've completely drained one of our batteries overnight. So we'll want to watch that and see if that's going to get back up to topped off, or if we're going to have to add batteries to the greenhouse to make sure that it has all the power it needs to get through a whole day. But right now, we are producing enough power just from solar radiation, solar power, to keep the batteries full, at least for the rest of the base. I'll have to watch this and make sure here that the greenhouse is still okay. I think this this vending machine is probably adding a huge load to the power consumption in here. If we take a look with the yeah, we're operating at about 760 watts, and the vending machine is only 5 watts. The computer is 200 watts. How is the vending machine only 5 watts? There's probably more to that. Base power usage 5 watts. Okay, that I don't understand. I'm very confused by that. But anyway, like I said, this is where we're going to end. We'll continue from here in the next episode. I might do some stuff off stream, just to make sure that we're still producing enough energy to keep the greenhouse going, while we spend so much time in here monkeying around with logic chips and, you know, Harvey functionality. But yeah, thanks for watching. If you like content like this, be sure to check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Arcagus. Be sure to like, subscribe, and or follow whichever platform you're seeing this on. And until next time, you guys be safe. Your office? What's broken?
I cannot find my mouse with the thing.
Your mouse? It's at the bottom. It's right there.
No, but before you cannot go back. I don't know what's happening.
You sure you don't have like an extra